All right, good evening. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight for the Vigil to celebrate Veterans Day. Veterans and their families each make sacrifices that can be hard for everyone else to comprehend, such as scars and illnesses that may or may not be visible. The fact that someone in your family may be in constant, imminent mortal danger, or that a family member can be called without notice to deploy for months at a time with limited contact, if any contact at all. Those are just a few examples. Whether or not you agree with why we fight in a specific war or conflict, please understand that the service members are carrying out the orders of Congress and the President and have no influence whatsoever in the decision to engage in armed conflict. They go where the government bids them and follow the orders of those appointed to them in accordance with the oath of enlistment. This is why it's called service, because they serve the government, and more importantly, they serve the American people. From the hills of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, from Flamborough Head to the war in the Pacific, from the hollow ground of Gettysburg to the Hindu Kush, from guarding our shores to guarding the skies, they have answered the call and they have been victorious. In so doing, they have helped shape the course of world history for 243 years, brought our nation to the forefront of all nations, helped make the United States of America the greatest country to have ever existed, and to lead the world forward as the light to guide other nations out of the dark. Their job consists of more than just warfighting. The United States gives more aid to the nations of the world than every other nation combined, and our military delivers much of this aid, both financial and in other tangible means. They help train the militaries of allied nations so they can better defend themselves and stand more independently. They have engaged in nearly perpetual humanitarian relief operations somewhere in the world since the end of World War II. When those friendly forces see the Americans land, their hearts fill with hope and ours fill with purpose. Even those who are catastrophically disabled and those who are advanced in age would come back and pick up arms if called upon. There are a few civilians I have encountered that can match that sort of zeal and dedication. One of them was Kim Butts, who was the previous Veterans Affairs Advisor. She works tirelessly in support of those of us whom she referred to as her veterans. Battling serious illness for years, she never quit and worked almost until the day she died. She is one of the greatest advocates for veterans I have ever seen, never asking for anything other than what she could do next. We also honor her tonight and her commitment and those of her family, and we thank them for sharing her with us. This day was originally a holiday commemorating the end of World War I, and was called Armistice Day, as that terrible conflict ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. It wasn't until 1954 that it became what it is now. The First World War was often called a war to end all wars, if only that were true. I think Plato may have captured it perfectly when he said only the dead have seen the end of war. However, you may rest assured knowing that there will always be men and women willing to answer the call to defend our freedom and that of our allies. Tonight, we honor the sacrifice of our veterans, living, killed in battle, or missing in action. Honor them and never forget. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you. And I now present Mr. Patrick Piper.
Oh, beautiful, spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruit is plain. America, that shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful patriot's dreams that sees beyond the years. An alabaster city's gleam, unbeatable human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown that good with brotherhood from sea